Welcome in. I'm a little late, sorry. And no music this week. I'll kind of explain that when we get started. I gotta fix my camera. Danny's here. Danny's on the best coast right now. Yeah, you can watch his show. It's 6 p.m. and you're on the best coast. So that's a thing. There's Mark. Thank you, Mark, for the raid. Let's get Mark in here. It's a little weird without music. What brewery are you at?
Whoa, okay, here we go. It
Okay,
is
I'm
really
gonna
weird
disappear.
without it.
Oh, I'm gonna disappear really quick so I can put you on the top.
Okay. I'm gonna flip this. Actually, I'll stay on the bottom.
Oh, that's my favorite, Danny. Did you get the grapefruit sculpin? It's my favorite beer by them, like top 5 beers of all time.
I'm not used to sitting
Hello.
at all. I
Yeah,
don't
you're usually standing.
so it's kind of weird and awkward for me. I'm always moving around the whole room, so.
Yeah. So, for those of you who haven't been here before, we're back. We were gone last week. I was very sick. You would not have wanted to see me or hear me. This is What You Want to Know Wednesday. I do these shows every week with sellers from the vinyl category on Whatnot. Other sellers that are interested, send me a message. I currently am booked until June, but adding people then. Also, buyers, if you want to come on, I'm happy to do that as well. So, what I do, I have 4 set questions that I ask everybody. And then I have some other questions I have prepared. We have a quick fire round, and then you guys can put questions in the chat at any time. I will jot them down and ask them. And then, Mark, can you see the chat?
I can. So I have my tablet here, and it's all nice and big,
There
just
you
in
go.
case. And then I'm like a foot from my phone. So
Perfect. So, if you see a question as a follow up to something you've said, feel free to answer it. If it's a whole new question or topic, I'll jot it down and ask it later.
sounds good.
Reminds me, I need to get a notebook.
Yeah, I'm not used to having my phone volume on either, because you always have to like turn it all the way down too. So it's kind of weird. I'm like, wait, where's the sound coming from?
Yeah, yeah. It's for me, it's even different. So, it took me a little bit longer to get connected because I didn't have a burner account and I needed a burner account. I have to log into a burner account with my headphones and watch the
Oh
show
wow.
so I can hear you
Oh my
because
gosh.
I'm on OBS.
Yeah. So that's
It's
the
very
loop over
strange.
there.
Yes. Okay, so the reason we have no music today, my voice seems to be doing a little weird thing. Let me try to mess with this. Do I sound like garbled to anyone?
You sound
Yeah,
fine. Here.
feedback.
Oh, you're getting yeah, you sound great to me. I'm getting nothing. So I don't know if it's my end messing with it.
There's an
Gargle.
emoji.
All right, so maybe I'll mute my phone and then turn up my tablet volume.
No, I think
Maybe that works.
my mixer was not up enough.
Nope, I can't hear
Is
volume on my tablet.
is this better? No, there's an echo.
Okay, not me. Okay,
I know
Roger
what
that.
it is.
Josh's comment. Y'all are just hilarious.
Okay, is that better? No, it's not. I can hear it. Of course, something has to go wrong.
I mean, it's technology. It's expected.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
just
gonna
keep
disappear
drinking
again.
water
Sorry.
out of my giant bottle per Josh.
Okay, let's test this now. I still sound like crap. Well, I'm gonna do as good as I. Maybe it was my AirPod. Maybe it was picking up the sound.
I got my fan going. Maybe that's it.
Still bad.
Still bad.
Um,
Oh, let me try something. Oh shoot. Ah.
Give me a
Give
second.
me a
I'm
second.
gonna
I'm gonna
change a couple
change a couple
settings.
settings.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something here too. Let's see. Oh, now I'm actually on my tablet. What the heck?
Okay, does
Okay,
that
does
sound
that
better?
sound better?
No, I can
I
still
can
hear
still
it.
hear
Hold
it.
on, hold on.
Well,
There we
We
go.
got
double mark.
Mark.
How do I turn
That's what
that
I was
off?
That's what I
looking
was
at,
looking
Janet.
at, Janet.
I don't know how to turn that off, so I just lost my chat on my tablet. Oh well, it's fine. I can see everything here. What's going on, Brandon?
Sorry, we're
Sorry,
having
we're
some
having some
audio
audio issues.
issues.
Ooh,
Is
there we go.
that better?
Sounded a lot louder.
That sounds better, right? Yes,
Perfect.
yay. Okay, let's try to get this started now. So the first of our 4 set questions is what is your favorite? Oh, sorry, I didn't even give you a chance to talk, which we always do in the beginning.
Yeah, it's fine.
So go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, how you got on Whatnot, how you got into selling records, just whatever you want to share about yourself.
This might take a whole hour. My goodness. No. So my name is Mark. If you don't know me, I'm Digitup Records right here. I've been on the platform for a little over 2 years now. So maybe 2 years and 4 months, 3 months, 2 years and 3 months, I think. Um, so how I got started on the platform is, um, seeing other people posting on their Instagram pages, other record collectors, record stores posting on their Instagram pages, hey, they're going live on Whatnot. Like, what the heck is that? Click this link, And then I just started watching, So I was a buyer and a watcher for about, I don't even know how long, maybe 4 to 6 months. And then I'm like, hey, I have a lot of records. I could do this too. So that's kind of what got me started onto the app. But I've been collecting records for, believe it or not, only like 6 years. Um, so I didn't grow up listening to vinyl records or cassettes. I grew up with CDs on long road trips, and you have that portable CD player. You're in the back seat, and I'm trying to steal my sister's music, which wasn't any good, anyways. So, but I didn't know as a young kid then. Now, Instinct's pretty good. I think that's who she likes and loves. So I listened to a lot of Usher and things because she liked all that stuff. But anywho, so I've been collecting for about 6 months, and once I started collecting, it did not slow down at all. Like literally within months, I had hundreds of records, and then it turned into thousands, and then it just didn't slow down from there. Um, so there's still a lot to learn, and I'm still learning a lot every single day. Which is great having this platform, having all these other knowledgeable sellers and buyers on here. Seems like every time I go live, I'm learning something new, or if I'm watching someone show, I'm learning something new. So, but I'm addicted, as like a lot of people, to this app. I support everyone I possibly can when I can. But yeah, so that's kind of a little bit of like how I started. How I started collecting too was watching Noble Records. So every day to work, I had a 30-minute trip, and I just watched his YouTube videos. So that pretty much got me started too, like learning from him and watching all of his videos. And by the end of it, after a few months, I watched like all of his YouTube videos. So I was just sucked in really quick. But I'm 32 years old. I'm married, have one baby girl, so she's almost 8 months old now. I guess you can still call her a baby. But I've been active duty on.
Always a baby.
Yeah, always. She's gonna be, daddy's little girl and spoiled for her whole entire life too, and she's gonna start selling records before you know it. And like, I mean, she has a huge collection, right? She has like 300 kid records alone. Um, so that's pretty cool and exciting. But
Wow. I thought my 6-year-old was a big deal with like 35 records.
well,
And I
so
hear my voice is going in and out again. So
yeah,
we'll try it. And if you guys can't hear me, I'm sorry.
yeah. My daughter's name is Baby Digit. Yep, that's it. So it's mainly my wife was collecting them all a lot too, and we grew up with all these different kid records too. Not records, but watching the shows and movies and everything. So it's kind of how we got so many of those. Um, but I've been active duty Army for 14 years. This month I hit 14 years, so it's been a long road. I've done a lot with my life. I've been all over the world, seen a lot, dealt with a lot of life challenges. But I'm trying to make it to that 20-year mark and retire and be done. So be done with it, period. Um, but yeah, that's kind of my background. If anyone has any questions, obviously military related, collecting related or not, just throw them in the chat. But I mean, I could literally, like I said, I could talk a whole hour on like where I started in the army, where I've been, things I've done. But we'll stick to the interview. So
Thank you for that. With that, I'm going to go ahead and put up a giveaway. We have 3 giveaways sponsored by Mark. Okay, so on to our questions. What is your favorite vinyl in your collection? Up to 3.
okay, so I'm glad you said up to 3 because I feel like every show I've watched or every interview I watched, it's just so hard. No one's been able to just narrow it down to one record. And of course, I've got so many records in here that it's hard to even find the ones that I'm trying to, think of and name. But just before the show, I finally found the one I wanted to show. Literally just before we went live, and this is probably one of my favorite. And it's, if you don't know what this is, so this is original orangutan. This is some like really really good psychedelic rock. I like all the weird and the ugly and the odd stuff, but this is a really really good um, lost record of its time. I think it's 1971 psychedelic rock. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. And I actually, so that's the label, the gray label. I actually had a white label promo at 1.2 that I found at the Austin Record Convention a couple years ago, but buyer bought it right away. So I was like, crap. Listen to that one. I was like, I need one. I finally found one of my own. And then that one's pretty hard to get. So if you can't find it, Noble Records did reissue this as one of his exclusives early on. So you could also maybe try to get this one a little bit easier. So that's one of them that I pulled out. And then this one's kind of odd and different. This is Plantasia. This is also a first press as well. If you don't know what this one is, this is to make your plants happy. This will help them grow. And my wife, she loves this one a lot, a ton. It actually isn't all that bad. It's just kind of weird, but I'm weird and I like that stuff. This was actually my grandpa's when he passed away, and my parents traveled with all of his records and brought them to me. And I was like, I cannot get rid of this one. So that one's pretty cool. And then last,
what's the verdict? Does it help the plants grow?
So we haven't played it long enough to actually do that assessment on it, but I think it would. I mean, there's studies about like playing music, and I remember seeing some video where if you play like hardcore screamer music at plants, they'll end up just like dying or something, right? And then if you play classical music at them, they'll be happy and start growing. I don't know if anyone else has seen those studies, but they're out there, so which is funny. And then because I like Halloween so much, I had to pull out a Halloween record. This is Halloween 2. I've got like every single Halloween record out there in my collection, and pretty big horror soundtrack collection. But I just wanted to show that one too because I like Halloween. So
okay, our second question. I got that echo again. I can't stand it. Sorry. Our second question is, what is the most random vinyl in your collection?
oh my gosh! So when you sent me those questions, I started typing out all the random stuff and weird stuff I have in my collection. I had to scroll through Discogs a little bit to try to figure out what I had because I have so many, but I couldn't find them all. But I found a couple, and let's see what we pulled out here. That's not it. That was another record. A couple other records I pulled out to the side. Let's see, here it is. So this one's pretty cool. And if you all know, I like anything in the shrink. So this is in the shrink, and it's how to stop smoking and overeating. which is hilarious. So random, so out there. I put it on, and this guy is so monotone to where you're just like, I don't know how I could listen to this record, but if it works, it works. I don't know if he's a comedian or not, but that's him. If anyone knows With Ravine, I guess is his name. So I thought that was kind of funny, odd, and random. I also found another one, and this is like how to help yourself concentrate while studying, I guess. So I don't know, but that's that guy. I thought that was kind of funny.
You like a
Uh,
lot of music to improve things.
yeah, and then I also pulled out this one, which is Learn Code. So this is like Learn Morse Code, which I thought was pretty cool. That's on a record. That's something different. And then you can see like all the numbers and all the different dashes and stuff on the back. So you can learn Morse
That is
code on
pretty
the
cool.
vinyl record. So yeah, library records. There you go, Tom. I think that was. Oh, I've got one more if you don't mind. I do have.
Congrats, Walking Eagle Records, on the giveaway.
Hey, congrats, congrats. So I have one more. It's not a vinyl record, and I know this is mainly about records, I think, but I also collect laser discs, and this is a Japanese laser disc, and it's virtual drug trance. This is so trippy. You got 3D glasses that you can put on, and you're just in a trance the whole time. You put this on, it is just insane. My wife and I threw this on, and it changed our lives. So if anyone wants to know what that is, or they're curious about this, it's pretty cool. I can maybe even post a video on my Instagram to show you all what that looks like. But I thought that was weird and unusual. My favorite.
Someone asked what your favorite genre is. I
Whew.
think that's fitting for this time.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I like the psychedelic rock stuff. Um, Man, I like soundtracks. Probably horror. I like all the horror soundtracks. That would probably be my number one favorite. But I'm a listener of everything. If you know my collection, I literally have every single genre you could probably think of. I have it in my collection, which is just crazy. So, yeah, I like all the horror soundtracks. You think I'm a metal guy, Tom? I got a lot of
Uh,
metal.
it's a good segue to what is an artist or band that you listen to that people would be surprised to know?
Whew, that's also another good one. So I actually listen to a lot of Christian rock, believe it or not. Maybe not a lot of people know that about me, but this is Toby Mac, Life After Death. I actually saw him a couple times in Austin. Really good. So when you think of Christian rock, people might be like, "Oh man, that sounds boring." This guy, he is like straight up hip hop when he is singing. It is super upbeat. If you don't know who he is, definitely give him a good listen. And then if you don't know who Crowder is another one that's like super upbeat. Like these are guys in their probably what early 50s, I'm guessing, and they're like bouncing up and down the stage and just super hip hoppity. Really good if you like that type of music. But give it a shot if you don't know. But it's Crowder, and this is one of his albums, Milk and Honey, which is pretty good. So that is probably
Walking Eagle Records asks, do you like Brandon Lake?
Brandon Lake. Sounds familiar. Brandon Lake sounds familiar, but it's not ringing a bell to me. I've got the worst memory too. I usually have to put a face with the name, but yeah, James is both amazing artists. They really are. Yeah.
And then Mrs. Finley said that Blindside is her favorite Christian band.
Oh, there you go. That's another good one. Yeah. I mean, there's been several that I went down to go see. Kane, um, for King and Country puts on one heck of a show. They're Australian, and those guys are really, really good. They're really good.
Okay, last question. Bearded is Marilyn Manson. Last question of our set questions is, what is your musical unpopular opinion?
Oh gosh. I guess mine would be that I have to collect every album of every artist, and I'm a completist, and I don't care what anyone says. But um, that's how I've been for several years, right? Like I just have to have everything. But now I'm like, I just only need the best of. So I'm trying to pull away from that, like needing all these albums and just stick to like the best of album. But I guess that might be my unpopular opinion, is like needing like every single album that an artist put out, which some of them, like, that's so many albums. But yeah, I don't know if that fits in that category or not.
Kind of. So like mine is that I think that Pearl Jam is overrated.
Overrated.
Okay.
Some people have said that boy bands are the worst and shouldn't count. Other people have said
Yeah,
that
I
you
mean,
need to play like rock music to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Things like that. Do you have any of those sorts of like opinions that maybe somebody be like,
I mean, I would
yeah,
say
Beyonce's overrated? I agree with you, Mrs. Finley.
like country music nowadays is not country music. So yeah, I definitely like, I like the old country. Like that's what I know country to be, is like George Strait, Johnny Cash, all those old legends, Willie Nelson and things like that. But yeah, definitely country nowadays. I just feel like everyone's just trying to like reach the top in any way they possibly can. Um, but yeah,
I
it
feel like
definitely.
when Post Malone and Beyonce enter country, it's not country anymore.
I don't think
I'm a
so.
big like 90s country, Garth Brooks, like that
Oh
kind
yeah,
of stuff. Huge on that, but I agree with you. It's not the same anymore.
yeah.
So, if you could be a vinyl variant, what vinyl variant would you be and why?
Oh, I would be a camo variant. Why? Because I'm still active duty army. That way you can't find my records either. Camouflage.
How many turntables do you own?
I don't like it when people ask me this question. So,
How many working turntables do you own? Because Joe had a lot.
working turntables, I probably have about 13 in my house. I even have my oldest turntable is a hand crank turntable from like 1906. You don't need electricity, and you're literally just like this cranking, and you open up the doors, and that's your volume. If you have them closed, it's quieter. If you open them wider, it's louder. But I've got like so many different types of turntables, from the super low end to the very super high end turntable. But they're in every single room, and multiple turntables in each room too. Whether I use them all or not, that's another story. But
What's your favorite brand, or like what is your daily player?
my daily player is my DJ setup, which is my Technics 1210. I believe that's what it is. It's a 1200 series. Yeah, SL 1210 Technics, which is a really nice like DJ setup turntable. I'm pretty sure like the 1200 series are the more desirable ones. So that's my like daily play. And then if I'm feeling a little Gucci, um, I'll spin. Oh, that's my face. I'll spin my Lynn Sonder, if I'm saying that right, my LP12. This is like a UK super high end turntable right here, that I have also in my record room.
Cool. 33 and a third, did that answer your question? Or did you have a follow up question on like speakers or anything?
Speakers, I'm failing at speakers, which I know that's like majority or half the battle when it comes to turntable setup.
Do you use a receiver or an amp?
Yeah, so I mean, I have the Lingo down below it, and then on my other side, I think it's just the built-in that I have on my. So I've got the super old vintage receiver that I'm connected to right now. Sounds like crap because I think it's going out. And I've got these vintage. What brand is that? Can't even see it right now. Oh, the Fisher speakers. But I mean, I got a Sony one right behind me right here. I don't know if you can see it. That I have set up for my other turntable that's behind me. But I'm definitely failing. So if anyone has any advice on speakers, definitely let me know, because that's one thing I have not perfected, is my whole entire setup. Which, as a collector, it could get pretty costly. Setting that whole system up.
Brandon asked if you have any non working turntables and how many.
I mean, I've got two sitting right here, and then I've got one at least in my closet there and a few in my garage. So, I mean, you pick them up as you pick up, different collections here and there. I've got this whole setup here. I've got like two double cassette decks that don't work. I've got more turntables over here too. I'm just now seeing, so they're everywhere. Yeah.
If you could
If you
have
have
dinner
dinner,
with any musical artist, alive or dead, who would you have dinner with?
Oh gosh, that's a stumper one right there. Let's see. That's also a good question. Man, who would that be?
You can pick one alive and one past.
I'm trying to think of someone maybe recently passed. Oh, I mean, Jimmy Buffett would be kind of cool. I don't know. He's got some good vibes. Let's see. Still alive. Probably Snoop Dogg. My wife would be really happy.
My friend Leah, who lives in
lives in
Canada,
Canada.
when she was like 19 years old, she actually partied with Snoop Dogg.
No way. That's wild.
Yeah, she has a picture. I was like, that didn't happen. And she has picture. Don't give your answers away, Shark. You're coming up in 2 weeks.
Is he coming up soon? That's awesome.
Yeah, the 7th of May.
Heck yeah.
Okay. What advice or tips would you give someone who's just starting to get serious about collecting vinyl?
Know what you're getting into. One, if you're married, definitely explain it to your wife what you're about to get into, because whether you buy online or in person, you're going to get a lot of packages coming to your door pretty quick. But it is a pretty expensive hobby, right? I mean, there's other ways you can do about it. You don't have to get first pressings. You don't have to get. I mean, there's good music for $5, like a really awesome album, through and through, front to back, for $5. I mean, don't get me wrong there, but if you're trying to like really expand and you want to be full in, it's a lot of money invested. Um, just collecting. But and then on top of it, if you're a seller, you got to have inventory to sell too. Otherwise, you're pulling from your personal collection, which it hurts me every time I sell a record, because all of it is my personal collection. That's how I look at it. I don't have like set aside inventory just to sell. Like all of it's my collection. Whether it sells or not, it's still mine. Um, but yeah, just reach out to other people that maybe been doing it a lot longer. Reach out to the older generation. I like talking to the older generation a lot too. You get to learn a lot from them. But yeah, just know what you're getting into. Watch those YouTube videos. Talk to people. Maybe go to a friend's house that already has a collection, and see if this is what you really want to get into. But it is pretty cool, and it's obviously been really, really popular. Every single year is just growing and growing and growing. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and I would just add that if you're just getting into it, don't go overboard right away. It'll get very overwhelming. It's okay to start with a low end
Yeah.
table from like Audio Technica on sale. You can get one for $100. Great turntable, entry level. Get the entry level stuff you need. Just make sure it's not going to be bad on your vinyl. It's going to sound good. And then start building from there. I started probably maybe a year or two before you, Mark. So I
Okay.
haven't been collecting that long, but I did have vinyl in my life growing up.
Okay. Yep.
But
Yep.
it's funny you mentioned about if you have a wife or husband, if you're married, let them know. I casually bought vinyl. I got divorced 2.5 years ago and went from like 40 to 375 in that time, because like it was just me. I could do whatever I wanted. And now I'm
Exactly.
selling,
At
I
least,
think I will end up selling 200 of them.
yeah, my wife, she does like the records too. So she has her own collection, and then I've got all this in here, my music room. So she likes it, but yeah, we definitely had those talks. Like, hey, like you probably shouldn't be spending money on this right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I need somebody to say that to me. Okay, we're gonna do another giveaway, guys. So get in that giveaway, and
Way, and we've reached
point
the point of the show
where we are going to be doing the
doing the
quick fire round.
Spend it, Brandon says. You only live once.
Spend it. Well, I am selling most of my stuff right now, my collection, to have experiences over stuff, because I can always rebuy the vinyl. I didn't sell anything that I don't think I can replace. So it's just for trips this year, meeting people and having more experiences than stuff. So,
Yeah, I like
you
that.
know, nobody needs 8 copies of Taylor Swift Midnights.
I definitely have a lot of duplicates and triples and quadruples myself.
Well, I was variant collecting her. So literally
Oh,
every time there was a pressing made in a new country, I bought it. Okay. Coffee or tea?
coffee every morning before I even work out.
Pizza or burger?
Pizza,
Cats or dogs?
dogs,
Summer or winter?
summer,
Chocolate or vanilla?
chocolate.
Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
I love both, but mountains.
Book or movie?
Movie,
Morning person or night owl?
both.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I was like, he gets up super early, but he's always up late. So
I
it's
don't
got to be both.
not sleep.
iPhone or Android?
Android for life. Let's
Oh,
go.
man. You got green bubbles. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Pen or pencil?
I like pen. I like pen. A really nice pen.
Sneak Sneakers or sandals?
Hmm. I mean, I'll just go with slides.
There you go. Comedy or drama?
Comedy,
Hiking or biking?
hiking,
Physical book or ebook?
physical.
Home cooked meal or restaurant?
Hmm. Restaurant. Just easy.
Guitar or piano?
I'll say piano just because I struggle playing the guitar. These fingers just don't work like they want to work, and piano's a little bit easier.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset,
Marvel or DC?
Marvel,
Comedy or action movies?
action,
PC or Mac?
PC,
Roller coaster or Ferris wheel?
roller coaster.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
I haven't really watched either of them fully through, so if I had to pick one, it would be Star Wars. I'm one of those guys.
Okay, these are not rapid fire either or. I thought there was going to be some comments in the chat for that one. If you could have a conversation with any inanimate object, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know this one. That one stumped me.
I've got some new questions for tonight. So
Yeah.
yeah, vinyl. That's probably what I would say. I would talk to a record. Ask them what it's like. Do they get dizzy?
I mean, would a tree count? I want to say
Yeah,
tree.
somebody just said a big old redwood tree.
Yeah, I mean, I would say tree. I actually lived in the redwoods for was it 4 years? 4 years? Yeah, I lived right in the redwoods.
Fort Bragg?
No, tip top northern part of California. Very tip top touching Oregon.
Yeah. My ex husband's family lives in Smith
Yeah,
River.
we talked about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
briefly.
Oh, I totally forgot yesterday that record store went up for auction here.
What did?
I think you were the one that sent me the link. There's a record store in town going up for auction. Maybe it was Tom.
Oh, yeah. Back in Salem, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it went up for auction yesterday, and I just realized that was yesterday. I'll have to check and see what it sold for.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, if your life had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
Congrats, Chris.
Congrats. Hey, Chris. What's up? Thanks for being here. Um, Man, it'd have to be something really patriotic. Maybe like Toby Keith singing what's that song? Digging up bones. Yeah, there you go. That's another good one. The
The
love
Love
boat
Boat
theme.
theme. What's the most bizarre thing you've ever seen while people watching? Which is probably a lot because you're in the army.
I mean, I've come across a lot of stupidity as well. The craziest thing, yeah, American Soldier. Yeah, there you go, James. Man, I mean, even homeless people are pretty wild to people watch. You see some crazy things. I don't have anything, really coming to my mind like that I can really recall, but I definitely have. Sorry, everyone. I don't have like a specific moment I can recall.
Favorite pizza topping?
I mean, the kitchen sink, if you know what that is.
Is that just everything?
That's yeah, everything possible. A lot of meat on there too. Meat, veggies, the whole supreme and just loaded with meat. The whole kitchen sink.
Do you have a favorite dad joke?
I don't. I'm only 8 months in, like almost 8 months being a dad. So I mean, I'll work on it. I'll get there.
What
Congrats.
is the silliest nickname that you've ever been given?
I have a lot just because of like army related. So a lot of people can't say my last name, even though it's not that difficult. I mean, it looks the way it sounds to me, anyways. So I've had a lot of like nicknames, like army wise. But I grew up as Marco because my dad's name was Mark as well. So I went by Marco growing up, and that was with the K. But I heard Marco Polo like my whole entire life. So yeah, there you go, Sean.
Uh, Favorite sport to watch on TV and favorite sport to be a spectator at?
Football to watch. Every time I've gone in person, my team has lost, so I don't go in person anymore. Favorite sport to watch in person? Definitely hockey, I would say.
What is your favorite football team?
The Green Bay Packers.
If you had an intro song, like a wrestler, baseball player, football player, whatever, what would your intro song be?
Oh man, maybe something funny like Miley Cyrus "Party in the USA." I don't know. It
Okay.
would not be. It would not be.
Thank you for the fun questions. I always like to see people's answers to those. It's raining men. Stupid. So, some other questions that I want to ask. This is kind of like whatnot related questions. So, has there ever been something that you've sold on whatnot that later you regret selling and wish you would have kept?
I mean, like I said earlier, pretty much everything because it's my collection. But if I had to say something, um, recently that I can recall, because I'm sure there's been other times too, but recently I just sold a rad soundtrack that I've looked for so long to find and found it and then sold it a couple weeks ago, I think, or even last week. I can't remember now, but that one was pretty cool. Um, and then I sold my Bonded by Blood that same show too, and I was like, ugh, that one was really hard to find too. So there's been a lot. Um, there's definitely been a lot, especially when I go down to Austin and do these live shows too. I'm like, I just want to buy these for myself, and then y'all just buy them during the stream. So I'm like,
I
nah.
got such good stuff from you last year at the convention. All of those things I got are the ones that stay in the collection.
Yeah, yeah, that LA Guns that Tom picked up for me too, that promo copy. So, I mean, I have a sealed Canadian press, but it's not the same.
Brandon asked if you're going to be in Austin next week.
I will be all 3 days. I'll be in Austin from morning or from opening to closing. I'll be there the whole entire time.
And what is your favorite thing
Let's do
about
it.
selling on whatnot?
Just the community, the people. I've really not had really any issues with people, which is great. And I've met a lot of cool people on this platform, whether it's virtual and having conversations on the side through social media, text messages randomly throughout the day, or just meeting them in person too, which is really cool. So I've met a handful of people from this platform in the 2+ years that I've been on here, and like I said, I haven't had really any major issues, you know, live streaming on this platform. So
If there was something that you feel buyers should know that they don't know about selling on Whatnot, what would you want to tell them?
okay, so a little bit of a pet peeve of mine is when a new buyer or a new seller, sorry, a new seller comes on the platform. Is that your question? A buyer wanting to sell?
No. So something like that buyers don't know about what goes into being a seller. What would you want somebody to know about what goes into being a seller?
Seller. To do it right, which that's the way I like to do it, but I've done some shows where I'm just randomly numbering records and flipping through just because I have very limited time throughout the day outside of 24/7 with work, family time, and then doing this whole record thing. To do it right, to actually look up the actual pressing, take the photos, write out the full title, put your whole description in there, your grading, anything else noteworthy. Every single record takes so much time and preparation. And then putting them from A to Z prior to going live, so you can find those records, pull them out super quick and easy, and then having your whole. So I love during the shows because that's the easiest part. Is during, and then after it's just the whole packing process, which sometimes I enjoy it, but it can be very overwhelming and stressful too because of my time, my short, limited time that I do have. And I try to get these records out as fast as possible. If I don't, I will get stuck on them and sit on them and they'll just get in the way. So I try to get them out within the next day, which is just crazy. So I do sacrifice my sleep a lot to get these shows together and packaged and shipped out. So, there's a lot that goes into it if you don't know to do it right that way. There's many different ways to do it, but that's my right of how I like to do things.
Do you have a really good customer service story? Either you found a record for someone that they've been looking for forever, or somebody did that for you on Whatnot.
Yeah, so just recently, like within the last week, Dawn Vinyl Nose Crack was looking for a record that she couldn't find, and she thinks she sold it. And I was like, "Hey, I have this one, and it's in the shrink and the hype sticker. Like, here you go." So it really made her day. She was really hyped up about it and super excited, and was gonna cherish it. And like, I'm gonna remember that, and I feel good when I can help someone find a record that they've been looking for. I mean, I do it every year, and throughout the year. So every year I go to Austin. That's what I do. I find everyone's hard to find records and wish lists. And when I'm not live during Austin, um, outside of me streaming, I'm looking for your records. That's what I do the whole entire time, and stuff for me too, obviously. But it makes me feel good when I can find a record that someone's been looking for a long time. And there's still records I have to pull out in my collection for people that have hit me up the last couple weeks. I've just been so busy that I haven't been able to make my way to them.
Yeah, and I can attest for that. I asked Mark to look for rare Taylor records, and every single time he saw one, he would take a picture and send it to me. So if you are looking for something, definitely send Mark a message. And when is that, next weekend?
It is next Friday is the early bird access, and then Saturday, Sunday are open to the general public for a cheaper rate. But I will be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday from early morning to sunset.
Somebody had asked earlier if you plan to work after you retire from the Army.
Debating it. Part of me says no, I don't want to work another day in my life, and I will be fine and can sustain myself for my retirement and medical benefits. But I know I will get bored. And it might only take a couple weeks to a month, and I will lose my mind because I always have to be doing something. And whether that something is to go back to work, I might just have to do that. So I will be young enough. So I'll be 38 years old at that point. I'll be young enough to where I can still work. Um, but I would be probably pretty selective of what I would want to do, even if it's just, like a park ranger or something like super chill, just to get me out and about to fill my day. I might just do that. So.
no posters here, but I believe Wax Arcana is planning to do a poster show soon. So you could check them out. Yeah, own a record store would be awesome. If I didn't, I feel like most people, if you didn't need a guaranteed income, like you'd just go do it. Especially like I was just talking, oh, that's cool.
This is a promo poster right here, but it's not 12 by 12.
And it's not rap from New Jersey, New York artists from
No,
1985 to 2005.
it was very specific.
Yes, very specific. Um, I don't remember what I was
Yeah, there you go.
saying.
James said he only lasted 2 months before he had to go back to work.
Yeah, I can't imagine not having something to do all day. I mean, when I was on maternity leave, I was like, I'm so excited to go back to having a purpose.
Yeah,
Like, just
I
makes you
would.
feel good.
So I would. So my plan is to like have a homestead, and I would stay busy doing all that. Building my own anything furniture, and a garden, and eventually like building my own house from scratch and doing all that stuff. So I would stay busy like doing that if I didn't work. But yeah, I've got some options.
What is your favorite part of being a dad so far?
All the different stages, from the moment she was born up until now. Like, she's doing peekaboo all by herself. Earlier, before we went live, I put her on the couch, sat her up. Well, she sits up anyways on her own, but put the blanket over her. She grabbed it and started doing peekaboo all by herself. And my wife and I were just standing there, just cracking up, just doing it back and forth with her. Every time she pulled the blanket down, we say peekaboo. So, I mean, waving. I still haven't heard her say "dada" like super clear, but she says it all the time when I'm gone at work. My wife texts me; she won't stop saying "dada." But yeah, just seeing all the different stages of her early life developing, which is just amazing.
I'm sure you've heard it 5 million times, but it goes so fast.
I have heard it a lot, and I can't wait for her to start running.
Yeah, I everyone would tell me that, and I'm like, yeah, everybody keeps saying that. I get it. And now that he's 6.5, he'll be 7 in August. I'm like, he was just born yesterday, right? Not 7 years ago.
Crazy.
So it goes so fast. Um, we've gotten to kind of the end of the show. I'm gonna have you guys put any more questions that you have for Mark in the chat, and I'm gonna run the last giveaway about 6:55. I still have more questions I can ask, so if you guys don't have any, I will just keep going.
Yeah, hit me with it.
If you could bring one album to a deserted island that has a working record player, what album would you bring? And it can be a box set if you would like.
Oh, I don't know why, but I'm addicted to that song called "Fast Time." So Tracy Chapman would probably.
It's a
I'm
great
just addicted
song.
to the song. I don't know why, but
So would you get like Tracy Chapman compilation or just that one album? Or you mean like you're just going to bring the 12-inch single and listen to that over and over and over
let's do
again?
it. The 12-inch single. Let's just go crazy with it.
Okay, Janet asked, are any of your army buddies into vinyl and how do they do with your vinyl talk?
So a lot of people at work don't know I do this, and I try to keep it low key, um, for whatever reason, because work is work, personal is personal, and I'm up there, so I don't really interact, personally too much with the other soldiers or younger NCOs. But some people have mentioned that you know they collect or are collecting vinyl, and like, hey, what do you need? Like, I have a lot, so I'll kind of introduce it that way. But then, other people I've opened up to a little bit. I've brought a couple to my house in the past, and they went pretty crazy. I sold a bunch of records to a couple of them, and then I have other people that still want to come to my house and just check out the record room. But you know, I try not to get too personal with them.
And the recruiting center knows, right? Didn't you do the charity auction at the recruiting center?
I did it at the local VFW is where
That's
I
what
did
it
it.
was. Okay. I'm guessing that these are military terms, so I'm just going to read it as it says. What's your MOS and
Yeah.
MP?
So MOS is like, what's your job in the army? So my job is 12T, 12 Tango, technical engineer. So I'm a senior technical engineer. And you're like, I still don't know what that means. So what that is I deal with surveying and drafting. If you don't know what that is, still, it's like an architect, and I do like all the pre-construction to anything that the Army is building, or wants to design and have built. So I overlook all those plans. As a soldier, I was drawing them all up, and now as like the senior position, I'm reviewing all that stuff and supervising. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a lot different. Very small. There's only probably like, huh, maybe a couple hundred in the whole army. So it's not that many, and the army's like 400,000 deep. So,
Super cool. Have you ever thought about going to school when you get out at all? Like getting a degree or learning something new? Like something way away from what you do now?
I do not like school, period. I don't like the college setup. I don't want to learn something in order to get a degree that's completely different than what I'm going to school for or wanting to go to school for. So I've never been to college. I've never taken one college class in my entire life, but it doesn't mean haven't been to school. I've got military schools, job schools. I've excelled in all of them. I just have dreaded taking any single college class where you have to take all this nonsense in order to get to the next stage and earn this diploma. So I don't have really any desire to go to school for anything else other than I would probably do like business and marketing. Because if one day if I want to open up a shop or do something related to that, I would definitely want to know more about like the business side
Hey,
and the
Robska, thank you.
timing. Robska, thank you. We'll run our last giveaway here.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, school is not for everybody. And half the time you do those classes and all those steps to get that degree, and then you can't do anything with that degree.
Yeah, I just haven't taken the time or no desire to go to school. Period.
Janet asked, would you do vinyl sales full time?
I would if I could. So if I was in the army, I definitely would. And then when I retire, I would, but where I want to live wouldn't really make any sense because I'm gonna be pretty far and isolated from like the main population in cities. So I don't think realistically it would work too well. Other than like I would have to travel a lot. But it would be pretty cool to have like a local store where I do retire, and whether it's like vintage collectibles, some vinyl. My wife likes plants. Maybe a combination. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see one day.
So you want to live like out in the country with a farm with animals and a workshop and that sort of stuff.
Yep, exactly. Get in on the giveaway if you haven't clicked it yet.
Yep, we've got a giveaway up there. It's our last one. Walking Eagle Records asked, what is your favorite Crowder song? Also, if you just got in, please put any questions that you have for Mark in the chat as we're going to be wrapping it up shortly.
I mean, it's that Milk and Honey song. I mean, it's just a banger right there. So it's the whole that album name that I showed earlier. But he's got a ton. I mean,
Okay, so
everyone's good.
who do you think you own the most vinyl from one like artist?
Oh my gosh. So I have a ton of Willie Nelson, so much Willie, a lot of Frank Zappa. There's when I think I have them all, I don't. Um, Bunch of Bob Dylan. Beatles. Beatles shelf is like this big because I've got so many duplicates and copies, and um, I have a lot. There's a lot of everyone because, like I said earlier in the interview, I felt like I had to get every single album of every artist. So I have a lot of everyone.
Walking Eagle asked, do you have all the Dylans?
I don't have all the Dylans, but I have a lot of Dylans. A lot of the old ones too.
How many total in your collection?
I have about 8,000 records.
I'm glad that you didn't start that with not many.
No.
You're like, I don't have very many, just like 2,500.
I have 6,000 in this room right here, so it's a lot.
Okay, there is 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in that giveaway. How much does your vinyl collection cost the taxpayer every time you transfer? They got to move it all.
So funny story. So when I was living in Oregon, I had about what 5,000 records, 5 or 6,000 records, and I had to sell about 3,000 when I moved because I would have been overweight. So the army will pay you, or well, they'll pay you, yeah, but they'll move everything free for you. But if you're overweight, you'll have to pay those additional costs. So I sold 3,000 records super super cheap. I didn't know about Whatnot at the time. I posted like a couple of the higher end ones on eBay, but that was still like a slower process because I was moving and I had to move quick. So within like 3 days, I sold like 1,000 records dirt cheap to Marketplace. I just was a free for all, fill a box, and it was just crazy cheap, and it hurt me really bad. But it's all good because now I gained 5,000 records back just like that in what 3 4 years. So
Okay, 1 minute left on the giveaway. Last minute call for questions. What we do now at the end of the show, I'm going to promo myself, and then I am going to give it away to Mark to let him talk about what he's got going up as long as he wants. So, Danny's on vacation. He's currently visiting Disneyland on the Best Coast, where I am. And so, Saturday is the ladies' train. I will be on the ladies' train Saturday, and then back next week for another interview. I don't know who it is, but I'll check. I should probably know. I feel like. Let's see if I'm right.
I feel like it's been a while. Has it been? Did y'all miss like last month, or you still do once a month?
Hold on just a second. I lost my sound.
Oh, no worries. Appreciate that, Abe. If you can still hear me.
Oh, you
Abe,
were fine. They just couldn't. I couldn't hear.
Abe's a OG from the beginning when I joined this app. I mean, look at he's rocking the Brandon photo.
Oh, that's
man.
right. Next week. Oh wait, no, I swear. Yep, that's what I was right. Next week is Cog. Terry.
Fury.
Congrats, Ace.
Yeah,
Again, I'm sorry. I hope you got my message. So I'll be back next week. We're gonna give it off to Mark. Tell us what you have going on. Let us know what shows you've got coming up, and take it away.
all right, so I am really close to 4,000 followers. So if you go up to the top, you click on my name where it says Dig Up Records. It says with Dig Up Records. Click on that. If you're not following me, please follow me. My next show is going to be down in Austin for 3 days. I'll go live for 3 days. I'll run giveaways, and I'll do random pulls on grill walls and bounce around to each vendor. So 3 days, Austin, next weekend. After that, I will do my 4,000 follower show because it'll be almost guaranteed that I'll hit 4,000. After that, I think I'm like 50 away right now, so pretty close. And then 4,000 followers show I'll do, and then I'll do a big grill show of whatever else I find down in Austin that I pick up for myself and for y'all. I'll give y'all first dibs like I always do whenever I pick up new vinyl. So grill show, and then I have a ton of other shows scheduled. If you just go up there, bookmark them. I apologize in advance if I don't do them when they're scheduled. My life is crazy, very very busy, always having to push the shows, but I randomly do pop up at night as well, so definitely look out for that notification. And then y'all talking about the cracker challenge, the MRE crackers, 2 crackers in 2 minutes. I'm gonna do ice bucket challenge, but with a twist. So it's going to be a little bit different. So definitely bookmark that show. That might happen tomorrow when I get off work. You definitely don't want to miss that live in action Dig It Up Records ice bucket challenge with a special twist. All right, I'll just leave it at that. That is it. Appreciate Stacy for doing these interviews. I've always loved them, and hopefully y'all got some entertainment and learned something about me outside of just selling on the app.
Yeah, thank you for being on. I appreciate you for being on the show and getting in front of the camera and talking about yourself. Everybody that's here, thank you. If you want to go look at who's on, you can pick who we raid.
Hey, that's funny, dude. Yeah, let us know who we can raid. I don't know who's on tonight.
Did you want to look and see who's on, or did you want me just to pick someone? You
I
can
can
pick
pick.
who we raid.
Oh, I can pick. Oh, that's fun.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Don't go anywhere yet, y'all. Let's see.
Yeah, guys, please stick around for the raid. We're going to go raid over to whoever Mark picks. You guys will go show them some love as well. Before we go, if anybody wants one, there is t-shirts in the shop. Those are always available as well on our profile.
Let's go support our man Yo Nicky since he's always supporting the vinyl community. Let's go see him.
Awesome. Oh, Echo just raided. Thank you, Scott. We're actually just finishing up, so we're going to take this raid and we're going to go head over and raid Nikki. So see you guys next time. Thanks for being here. Bye.